Hello. Good evening to you all. Hello.
Good evening,
Hello.
sir.
Good evening,
Okay.
sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Thank you all. Thank you all. So, do you know my name?
No.
Nurshya Mishra. NM sir. Nurshya Mishra. Okay. My name is Nurshya Mishra.
Okay.
So, welcome to. So, mute please. That's your mic mute please. So, welcome to MEG-5 literary criticism and theory. So before discussing the present discussion, uh, we have to just have a clear-cut idea about certain things. What's to be discussed, unless until you get an idea, so you can get a clear-cut picture or view about today's discussion. So literary criticism and theory, that is MH5, and as you know that because it's not for the first time you are attending, and uh, each that topic has 8 blocks. So that discussions about literary criticism and theory, also it has 8 blocks. So do you have an idea about these 8 blocks? Have you got an information about what are these 8 blocks of literary criticism and theory?
Yes, sir.
Anyone? Yes.
Uh,
So block one is what today we are going to deal with. Means I am going to deal with today. So which block? Which block
in
is to be taught today?
introduction.
Yes, an introduction. Because you just get an idea about all these, unless until you get an idea, so you can get a clear cut picture or view about today's discussion. So each topic has 8 blocks, and today to start block 1, that is an introduction. Then next class about that is block 2, that is classical criticism. Then next class, that is block 3, romantic criticism. Then next class, that is block 4, new criticism. Then Marxist view of literature. Then feminist theories. Then deconstruction. So last one, to conclude or wind up, teaching contemporary literary theory. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay.
Sir.
So these are the blocks to be discussed with, uh, taking 8 periods. 8 periods means 8 classes. Sure, as you know, that time is very short. Duration is 1 hour, but we have to within that short stipulated time period, we have to know a lot. We have to discuss a lot. But how it is possible? Impossible. Had it been on offline classes, had it been offline classes, we would have got everything. We would have known everything minutely, but it's online. So if we just go on discussing everything line by line, impossible to deal with all these points. So today only to just get in touch with some important points in a nutshell, as brief as possible, in a nutshell. To- It would have been possible only in offline classes, because you would have just seen each other, you would have discussed, I would have helped you in other fields also, giving you some notes, or that you would have expressed whatever we had within at the time of teaching or after teaching or in between, everything would have been cleared up. But so far as it's online class, so to deal with everything is impossible. So because duration is 2 hour, so the topic that's an introduction, we can't complete taking 2 hour. So it's a matter of that 4 hour or 5 hours also. But we have been prefixed to take or complete it. It has already been prefixed. The time is prefixed. So within that stipulated period, at any cost, we have to cover up or complete. So how to just in touch with all this? No, only to take some important details and discuss in three, that's 2 to 3 lines. So an introduction, in an introduction, we at first see literature, literary criticism and theory. These are the beginnings of an introduction, unit 1. At first we have to study now what is literature. Do you get me? What is literature? Then after its definitions. So many philosophers have defined the literature using their own expressions, own understandings. Then what is literary criticism? Then what is theory? So step by step, these uh, points are to be discussed, only presenting 4 to 5 lines. And some other short notes are also there coming under the present discussion. These are the long questions and some short questions also. Spota theory and Arasso theory and Dhoni. So all these. And also we have to know some important points about that's Plato's argument on poetry, or that's criticism on poetry. So many things are there. If we just go on discussing uh, elaborately, so impossible. Had we been fixed that more than 3 to 4 hours, then would have tried for 2 hours. So only some important points in a nutshell. Just take it as so. As earlier I told, uh, in introduction we are facing a literature, means what is literature, then literary criticism, what is literary criticism, and theory. Am I audible? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sure. So are you able to listen what I'm speaking?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
So
sir.
now just listen mindfully. Uh, Listen mindfully, because had it been offline classes, everything would have been interacted very smoothly and spontaneously. But neither I am able to see you or you are able to see me. So only just listening and hearing. So that's an, because as you know that listening is an important activity. As we have 4 important skills in English: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. It's known to all of you. So of these 4 forms, important 4 forms, that listening is also very important. Means we have to act as an active listener. Remember, active listener, not passive listener. Passive listener means body present, mind absent. The definition of a passive listener is body present and mind absent. Active listener means body present and also mind present. Means we have to be very active, alert, and focus on the teaching. Means listen mindfully. I mean to say we have to listen everything mindfully. Even if you don't have any books or texts or materials, if you are listening it mindfully, then it's well and good. Well, so now just listen what is literature. What is literature? So now just I'm giving an ordinary meaning of that word literature. Literature is the total of preserved writings belonging to a given language or people. So are you in second year or first year? Second or perhaps, yes or no? Hello?
First
First
year.
year.
First year,
First
sir.
year. You all are
First
first
year.
year students.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, okay. You see, after the end of the schedule, so I will provide you some notes. Don't fear, because now discussions are going on. So today unit 1, that's block 1. Tomorrow, after 2 days gap, so again block 2, block in this way, we have to cover up 8 blocks. So after the completion of all these blocks, to the best of my ability, I will collect some notes for you, and as far as practicable also I will send it to you for your examination, ensuing examination. Okay, notes, important notes, that's some short notes and long notes. That short notes today also we have to discuss what is Rosso theory, what is Dhoni theory, what is Pota theory, what is Alankar theory. All these that were getting a 5 marks, 5 marks. That is called short notes. And long notes, so there are a lot of questions carrying 10 marks. That's known as long notes, long question. Okay, so after the end of all these blocks, so I will give you or I will help you. That means very simple to say I will help you. Okay. So now that's I'm dealing with you. That is literature. So literature is the total of preserved writings belonging to a given language or people. Just listen. It is derived from the Latin, which means a letter of the alphabet. It is derived from the Latin litera. Latin word litra, which means a letter of the alphabet. Literature is the first and foremost humankind's entire body of writing. After that, it is the body of writing belonging to a given language or people. Then it is individual pieces of writing. So in a serious sense, literature is writing which expresses and communicates feelings and attitudes towards life. Again speaking, in a serious sense, literature is writing which expresses and communicates feelings and attitudes towards life. Then literature, now just we are getting that's the ordinary meaning of the word literature. Then after definition, all these are also coming under as definitions. Literature can also be told as mirror of human life, human nature. You know, for example, traditional saying, literature can also be told as a mirror of human nature. Then Argyris, one philosopher or critic, says that the study of literature, the study of literature cannot solve our problems. Okay, so the philosopher or the critic is Argyris, RWS, says that the study of literature cannot solve our problems like malnutrition, war, violence, etc. So literature seems unimportant. So it's not so important to that philosopher or critic because according to him, literature cannot solve our problems like malnutrition, war, violence. Velkar says another linguist just gives his opinion about literature. Science concerns with facts. Science concerns with facts, reasons, causes, and effects, and literature who deals with the facts, but in it, facts are presented in a modified forms. Do you get me? So again speaking, repeating, uh, science means it is given by another that linguist. Science concerns with facts. Means what we are getting that's from science, everything is true and to the point, updated, facts, reasons, causes, and effects. And literature too deals with facts, but in it, facts are presented in a modified forms. Last one about literature. Literature refers to works of the creative imagination. Literature refers to the works of the creative imagination, including works of poetry, drama, fiction, and non-fiction. So these are the parts or features of literature. So how do we get in literature? That we are getting all these words that uh, it refers to the works of the creative imagination. Unless until you become creative, you can think of literature. So you have to sit lonely as a desolate place and act accordingly. If you want to be a poet, you have to take rest at a lonely place and just watching the flora and fauna of nature, you have to start writing. If you also want to be a dramatist, also the same formula is applicable. So so it's the so it refers to the works of the creative imagination, including works of poetry. Means you are getting poetry in literature. All are the branches of literature. What I'm dealing with you now, all are the branches or ramifications of literature. What's poetry, drama, fiction, and non-fiction. Okay, so that's all about what you just knew now was about to literature. You just knew some ordinary lines about literature with some definitions also. So now to start, what is literary criticism? What is literary criticism? Are you able to listen what I'm speaking?
Yes, sir.
Also are able to understand? Okay, you just listen because it's online class. So you are asking me questions. So again, I am explaining. So it's time taking. Means so we are not able to complete the points that today we have decided to start and end. Today I have taken some important points for you to deal with. So if you are asking, I am explaining. So it's time taking means not only you but also I. We all are going to kill our important times because duration is 1 hour and after all it's online. Had it been offline, we would have just again taken one more class. That's tomorrow or two more classes to complete. But within this short span, limited time stipulated, we have to at any cost cover up. Well, so after that, I will help you to the best of my ability. What I am giving you, that's it will help you at the time of your examination. Keeping your examination into account, you have to proceed on. So then, what is literary criticism? So now just listen. Now you knew that. So what is literature? What is literature? Now to know, be ready to know what is literary criticism. You see, literary criticism is the comparison, analysis, interpretation, interpretation or evaluation of works of literature. I can repeat or not? Will I repeat it or not?
It's
Repeat.
clear, sir.
But sound is coming mute. So literary criticism is the so after the end of the class you take my number and okay and keep it and we'll do accordingly. Literary criticism is the comparison, analysis, interpretation or evaluation of works of literature or evaluation of works of literature. Literary criticism is essentially an opinion supported by evidence. Literary criticism is essentially an opinion supported by evidence relating to theme, style, setting, or historical or political context. Then types of literary criticism. So now you knew some lines about literary criticism. That's all. Okay, some lines. So now pass on to discuss types of literary criticism. Types of literary criticism. So the number one is traditional criticism. The number one is traditional criticism. Traditional criticism. So what do you mean by traditional criticism? Traditional criticism evaluates on author's biological information. So what is biological information? Again speaking, traditional criticism evaluates an author's biological information, means their culture, background, and history. Remember, the author's biological information means, so these two words are coming under the category that the author's culture, background and history. That is known as traditional criticism. Then sociological criticism. Now, now just I'm dealing with you types of literary criticism. Now just I'm dealing with you types of literary criticism. So number one is traditional criticism, then sociological criticism. Now listen, what is sociological criticism? It evaluates a text. It evaluates a text based on its relation to a particular society. Sociological criticism means uh, it evaluates a text, means it gives an account of a text based on its relation to a particular society. What type of relation does it have towards the society that is uh, to be taken into consideration? Okay, so particular society and its larger social context. Then third is new criticism. Dealing with now types of criticism. Now you knew traditional criticism, and second is sociological criticism, then new criticism. New criticism was a formalist movement. New criticism was a formalist movement in literary theory. In literary theory that dominated American literary criticism. Who that new criticism uh, was a formalist movement. Formalist movement means it is characterized by the emphasis on formalist structures of a work. It is characterized by the emphasis on the formal structure of a work, such as its genre. Genre means category or class, grammatical structure, and its literary devices, rather than its content. That's the meaning of formalist movement. So, new criticism was a formalist movement in literary theory that dominated American literary criticism in the middle decades of 20th century. It emphasized it emphasized close reading. It emphasized close reading. It emphasized particularly of poetry to discover how a work of literature functioned as a self-contained, self-referential aesthetic object. So now you knew what is a literature, then what is literary criticism. Uh, I gave you some important lines. So now what is theory? Now what is theory? Now, what is theory? Literary theory refers to any principles derived from internal and you see why do I just present before you all this because all the things are the root or at the fundamental or that's what we call it elementary discussions because today's discussion is about an introduction so all these things are coming in introduction all the things literature literary analysis and what is theory all this spota theory dhani theory algar theory all this so that's why I'm dealing with all this presenting you some lines to make you clear though not fully clear because had it been online offline classes you would have known everything clearly but in online so everything isn't possible but we have to make the impossible to possible what's that required so then what is theory literary theory refers to any principles derived from internal analysis literary theory refers to any principles derived from internal analysis of a literary text or from knowledge external to the text that can be applied in multiple interpretive situations. Very generally speaking, very generally speaking, a theory or any theory, a theory or any theory provides a system by which experience can be organized and made sense of or at least into something which will be comprehensible. Am I audible? Am I audible? Are you listening?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Because you see, from the very beginning, I have been saying, giving stress on that particular word, be active listener. Active listener. If you become active listener, you are gaining. Otherwise, you are losing. If you are becoming passive listener, means body present, mind absent, only just present, not absent, but doing some other activities. Whenever I'm speaking, are you able to listen or listening? Yes. No. Be active listener. Even if without books, if you are coming and attending, also, if listening, then it's fruitful and productive also. Well, so now, very general speaking, a theory or any theory provides a system by which experience can be organized and made sense of or at least into something which will be comprehensible. So that is the unit one because discussion was about an introduction. So what I taught you now, right now, was about that's the introduction. The unit one means that sub points in the discussion and introduction because many sub points are there, many small units are there. So we have to that uh, give emphasis on all these small units, though not in detail but in a nutshell. From the beginning, I'm speaking. So now you knew all this. That's sufficient. Needless to more about all that. Otherwise, it's time killing of time. Now, Indian aesthetic. Now, Indian. Also, it is one sub point coming under this an introduction. Indian aesthetics. So, what do you know aesthetics? Who can say what the meaning was for aesthetic? Aesthetics. Anyone who
Sir,
knows what is the
does it mean beauty? Beauty,
Beauty,
something
aesthetic?
related to
something.
beauty?
Yes, aesthetic means concerned with beauty or the
Yes,
appreciation of beauty. Yes or no?
yes, sir.
Yes, concerned with beauty or the appreciation of beauty. That is also coming under this discussion. Block one, an introduction. MEG-5, literary criticism and theory. Discussion is block 1. Topic is an introduction. And what I taught you now, just recently, is coming under all these that main points, sub points. So this is another sub point, small one. The Indian aesthetics. Also, we have to know some lines about Indian aesthetics. Then after we have to pass on to that the short forms that Rasha, Dhoni, all these in short, not in okay. Mm. So now Indian aesthetics, so appreciation of beauty in an Indian aesthetics. uh, at first we see, this what we come across. At first we see a religious foundation. Precisely speaking, not elaborately, precisely. So Indian aesthetics at first we see or we know religious foundation. Religious and philosophical thought is quite significant as a factor in the social content of art in any moment of history. So Indian aesthetic means appreciation beauty, means religious foundation or religious and philosophical thought is quite found in that Indian aesthetics. Thus, much Indian art and criticism had a religious form and content. She might have got a lot of epics, that's called Ramayana and Mahabharata and Quran, Bible. In all these epics, so we are getting religious descriptions. Okay, so much Indian art and criticism had a religious form and content. Thus, it is that these aesthetics had a spiritual base or content. Spiritual means that religious based. Spiritual based means a religious based or content. Base or content. This is evident from the link that one can make between the Rasolila of Krishna. It is spiritual based. It is spiritual based. Rasolila of Krishna and the Gopi and the Rasa. You might have had that word called Rasolila of Krishna. Okay. How was Krishna that playing with the gopis there at Vrindavan? Okay, that is called Rasolila. Okay, so that this is evident from because beauty, this is the appreciation of beauty. That's from religious standpoint. We are discussing that. That is evident from the link that one can make between the Rasolila of Krishna and the Gopi and the Rasa. Rasa theory. That is called Rasa theory. Rasa theory. Rasa means the state of the mind. State of the mind. Also, the artist, the rulers, and the spectators, audience show a willingness to accept fantastic representations of the supernatural. Of the supernatural. So, what do you mean by supernatural? What do you mean by supernatural? Means of a manifestation or event attributed to some force beyond the scientific understanding. So, it has no scientific link. As today's philosophers or critics opine, it has no scientific link or scientific relation, but still we accept it, we admit it. Sure, that to accept fantastic representations of the supernatural, beyond natural. You might have noticed how emphasis is placed on mystic symbolism. Mystic symbolism. Mystic means critical bent, critical bent, so a religious bent of mind. That is called mystic symbolism in the arts, in dance, and and uh, theater in particular. A more or less theoretical discussion rather than preceded these performances. So that is called then non-spiritual expressions. Non-spiritual expressions. Non-spiritual means not associated with or interested in religious or that spirits that matters. Non-spiritual means not not associated with or interested in a religious or spiritual that matters. Many Indian aesthetic theories, because we are now discussing Indian aesthetics, appreciation of beauty, okay, concerned with the beauty or appreciation of beauty. So, uh, many Indian aesthetic theories run down the Indriya perception as Maya or illusion. Even so, you notice many works of art, many works of art employing sensory experiences. Sensory means using their senses to derive pleasure, they just apply their senses. Apart from the sensory, naturalistic, and humanistic expressions, have also made a mark in Indian long philosophical traditions. Aristotle was preoccupied with the production or stimulations of a rasa or a rasatporna. Rasa had a spiritual as well as sensuous dimensions to it. So it was seldom that these were blended. Then mystic function. Then mystic functions. Mystic means, as earlier I told, that's dealing with the spiritual apprehensions, dealing with a person who seeks by contemplation and self surrender to obtain unity or absorption into the deity or the absolute, or who believes in the spiritual apprehension that are beyond the intellect. So now mystic function. Art was produced and received. Art was produced and received in the framework of the spiritualism of the time. Mural paintings. Mural paintings means it is applied to and made integral within the surface of a wall or ceiling. The term was properly include painting on fired tiles. Mural paintings means paintings on ceiling and walls. Spiritualism of the time mural paintings. Scrolls. Scrolls means a roll or parchment or paper for writing. Mural paintings, scrolls, and uh, stones or bronze sculptures helped or at least thought to help stimulate the desired attitude. You might have seen some that objects on or paintings on some walls or that every, if you just go to some religious places, you are getting all these pictures.
That Ajanta and Ellora caves.
Yes, caves. So, okay, so that's sculptures had or were at least thought to help. stimulate. It will stimulate means encourage or prompt the desired attitude as a means of achieving moksha. Accordingly, aesthetic was preoccupied with mystic symbolism. The bronze icon of the dancing Shiva, you might have seen in that Shiv temple, the bronze uh, icon of dancing Shiva is a symbol of the cosmic rhythm of a creation and destruction. Do you get me or not? You might have seen that particular dance of Shiva.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so that reflects uh, the symbol of cosmic rhythm of creation and the destruction. Shiva, the bronze icon of dancing Shiva. Okay, in different ways or in different that postures and gestures. So give a clear-cut picture of the cosmic rhythm of creation and destruction. So then Krishna, because mystic function. Now I'm dealing with mystic function. Religious. Okay, bent of mind. So the myth and legends related to. So you don't be so oriented after the end. So I will help you. Okay, I feel what you are feeling now, right now. I feel your. Okay, so I will help you at the end of the discussions, providing you some other things. So Krishna, the myths and legend related to Krishna have contributed to Indian aesthetics. You might have gone through a lot of writings about Krishna. So the myths and legends related to Krishna have contributed to Indian aesthetics in a major way. Krishna, after all, is the most typical Rashika. After all, is the archetypal Rashika, means the most typical body or picture or character. Archetypal Rashika, a great god. He is also the mischievous child, the divine flute playing lover, playing flute, and religious moral teacher also, because Gita Gyan have been given by Krishna. So how you see a blend of many characters, many features. He had been endowed with a lot of that things at the same time, simultaneously. A great god, also mischievous child because playing with the gopis or the other teen students, sorry, boys, uh, and the divine flute playing lover and the religious moral teacher. The Rasa theory, as it is known to many Indian language literature, critics were originally formulated by Bharata in this treatise Natya Shastra. Okay, we'll now discuss what is Rasa theory. Okay, that is the short notes. Short notes. You see, that's the word rasa was originally used for the drinks of the gods. That's called somras. Somras. You might have had somras drinks. Okay, the word rasa was originally used for the drink of the gods. In those periods, so the gods were taking that, consuming that. Nowadays we call it as alcohol. Okay, alcohol. So in those days it was called as somarash, and men alike also. Okay. So Rasha, I am now dealing with you. What is Rasha? Because I have collected all these lines for your clear-cut presentation understanding. So Bharata's Natya Shastra is the oldest treatise, means essay or book. Bharata's Natya Shastra. It was introduced by Bharat, so that's why we call it as Bharat's Natya Shastra. It's the oldest treatise on Rasa theory. On Rasa theory. The idea of Rasa drama or poetry is a unique creation of Indian uh, drama and rhetorics. The tradition of this word Rasa, but you may call it as Rasa and Rasa, Ras Lila and Ras means that is called Somras, consumed by gods and also with the human beings. So the tradition of this word Rasa is also very difficult as it is an enjoyment or experience in the mind of the sympathetic audience or a reader. It is an individual experience brought through the expression of a bhava. Rasa. Unless until you have bhava, you can create a rasa. Do you get me? So bhava. Once you get bhava, then automatically rasa will come. So rasa is coming from the uh, feeling that is called bhava. Bhava. So it is an individual experience brought through the expression of a bhava. The rasa is the creation or promoted in the mind of a spectator. The rasa is creation or promoted means encouraged or stimulated in the mind of a spectator by the bhava being expressed. So what type of a bhava do you have in your mind, whether in good sense or in bad sense? Okay. Suppose you might have seen that the Rasa Lila. Some nowadays some people are speaking that so both are falling in love. Radha and Krishna, or Krishna with gopis. That Lila is called Rasa Lila. Okay, nowadays we are not able to admit or receive it. We are taking it something otherwise. Okay, sure. That is mind of a spectator by the bhava being expressed. These two, the rasa and bhava. Rasa and bhava. So rasa comes from bhava. Unless until bhava is there with you, so you can that present your rasa. These two are to the rasa and bhava are interdependent. Both are dependent to each other. Both are the poles are alike. So rasa and bhava are interdependent as a rasa is not created without bhava. Because you cannot create rasa without bhava. And bhava has no existence if rasa not promoted. And uh, bhava has no existence if rasa not promoted. Understand? Bhava can be considered as the physical body. Bhava can be considered as the physical body and rasa being its soul. Do you get me? Bhava can be considered Bhava can be considered as the physical body and rasa being its soul. Rasa is the soul, okay, and bhava is the body. The the soul is inside the body. Okay, so uh, bhava can be considered as the physical body and rasa being its soul. So Bharat has because introducer of that theory, rasa theory, is introduced by that is Bharat. Okay, so that's Bharat has classified rasa uh, eight or eight features. Okay, so according to Bharat, we do have that eight rasas. Rasa means emotions. Okay, 8 research. Nine research. Bharat has classified Russia into 9. So one is first, listen to that first is Shringar. Shringar means amorous. So amorous means love or beauty. Listen, Bharat has classified Russia into 9. Okay. Uh, Rasa means emotion. Rasa means emotion. Uh, First one is Shringar. Shringar. Shringar means amorous. Amorous. Amorous means love or beauty. Then Hasya. Hasya means humorous. Means laughter. It will arouse laughter in you. It will make you a laughing being. So the situation is so comical. If you are observing it, it will make you laughter or arouse laughter in you. So then hasya means humorous, means laughter. Then karuna. Karuna means pathetic, means sorrow. Pathetic. Because you might have seen some that dramas or plays. If a sorrowful incident or event is going to happen, so some people are there, start crying, tears start rolling from their eyes. So means it's out of becoming excessive pathetic, so sorrow. Karuna, then Rudra. Rudra means furious, anger. Furious means anger. Now I'm dealing with Bharat's classification of Russia into 9 categories. Sringar, Hasya. Are you listening? Are you listening or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, 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 yes. So Sringar, then Hasya, then Karuna, then Rudra. Rudra means furious, means anger, anger. Rudra. Because Rudra avatar. Okay. So then Bira. Bira means valorous, means heroism or courage. Bira means VEERA. VEERA. Bira means valorous. Its meaning is heroism or courage. Then Bhayanak. Bhayanak means horrifying. So what do you mean by horrifying? Means terror or fear. Horrifying means terror or fear. That is called Bhayanak. Then Vivatya. Vivatya means repugnant, means disgust. Disgust. Then Adbhuta. Adbhuta. Adbhuta means uh, wonder. Wondrous means surprise or wonder. Adbhuta means ADBSUTA. Adbhuta means wondrous means surprise or wonder. The last one is Shanta. Shanta means peace or tranquility. So these are the 9 classifications of uh, Bharat's Rasa theory. Okay. So uh, in 9 parts. So answering the inquiries made by the sage about Russia, Bharat puts in his Natya Shastra as the combination of Vibhav, Anubhav and Vyabhichari. Bhavoj that create the rasa. Bhava creates the rasa. Rasa is the produce in the minds of sympathetic audience as a result of a configuration of two determinants. Thus, Russia is manifested. Thus, Russia is manifested by the removal of enveloping obstacles and reveals something which already exists. This manifestation becomes the source of transcendent charm and is spoken as Rasa. This Rasananda is said almost equivalent to Bharat's explained philosophical bliss or Brahmananda or Brahmananda. Okay, so now you knew some lines about because many lines are there about Russia. So needless to know, these are the important things what I presented for you, the 9 parts and the general meaning, ordinary meaning of this word Russia. Now, pass on to discuss Dhoni, Dhoni theory, Dhoni theory. Just 2 to 3 minutes, then after we'll start. Okay, just wait for 2 to 3 minutes. We'll start after. Okay. So to start now, that is Dhoni. So now you knew some lines about Russia. Uh, More about that is after the end of the session, as earlier told you. So now to start Dhoni. Okay. The theory, listening or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So the theory of Dhoni in the field of Indian poetics, in the field of Indian poetics, is not only a contribution to Sanskrit language but also to the universal rhetoric and aesthetics. But also to the universal rhetoric and aesthetics. The theme of aesthetic is the theme of aesthetic has been inherited through the Natya Shastra of Bharat, and has been discussed by many scholars in their works and propounded different theories to concept. If the inner meaning of the poetry is suggestive, if the inner meaning of the poetry is suggestive, figurative, and expressive, then it leads evoking the desired Russia. Vamana, Vamana. Vamana is the first one to coin this inner meaning as Atma, the soul of poetry, as a Riti, the style. From then onwards, Alankaricus started phrasing the term Atma in their works. Anand Vardhan said Dhoni is the Atma of Kavya. Anand Vardhan uh, said Dhoni is the Atma of Karma. In all good poetry, in in all good poetry, in all good poetry, uh, Dhwani refers to the sounds emitted from the speaker's vocal organs. The ordinary meaning of the word Dhwani is it refers to the sounds emitted from the speaker's vocal organs. So in all good poetry, Dhwani is found as important element. Such poetry in which the sound and its explicit meaning become subordinate and implicit meaning embraces various dimensions such as the base idea, figures of speech, and the sentiment is called the highest type of poetry. So Anand Vardhan, with his theory of Dhoni, because he gave this theory of Dhoni, Anand Vardhan, with his theory of Dhoni, pointed out that the reader should go, the reader should go beyond the meaning The reader should go beyond the meaning to capture the suggested or hinted meaning. This word means sound literally. This word means sound literally, but does not deal with the function of sound in the musical sense. So that theory, Dhoni theory, was propounded by or given by Anand Vardhan, the 19th century thinker. In his treatise or means book or essay, Davanya Loka means Dhoni plus Aloka. Davanya Loka. The Dhoni theory considers the indirectly evoked meaning or suggestively as the characteristics feature of literary utterance. So according to Anand Vardhan, because he the he the propounder of that theory, Dhoni theory. So according to him, if we can explain how indirect meanings arise systematically, means here Anand Vardhan speaks that if we can explain how indirect meanings arise systematically, we can claim that all potential meanings inhere in a text. Anand Vardhan uses the term dhoni to designate the universe of suggestion, the soul of a kavya is dhoni, he says. Means according to him, dhoni is the soul of kavya. Anand Vardhan integrates the theory of rasa with his dhoni theory. Integrates means blends the theory of rasa with his dhoni theory. That is, he says that dhoni is the method through which, according to Anand Vardhan, dhoni is the method or procedure through which the effect of rasa is achieved. Rasa is the effect of suggestion. Rasa is the effect of. So that's all about to that Dhoni theory in a nutshell. So now to pass on to that is that is spota theory. That is spota theory. So spota means that is spota means that is it refers to the distinctive perception of a sound. It refers to the distinctive. So you see, that's a very difficult topic. You might have gone through some other topics in comparison to others. Isn't it a difficult one? So that literary criticism, MEG-5, is actually a very difficult topic. So I have just taken great care to make you understand, going through some other materials, 45 materials. So spota is that means it refers to uh, the distinctive perception of a sound. As earlier I told you that dhoni refers to the sounds emitted from the speaker's vocal organs, whereas sounds reaching the ears of the listener is called spota. Here, the relation between spota and dhoni is that of manifested and manifested. Do you get me? The relation between spota and dhoni is that of manifester and manifested. So, how do you know manifester? Manifester means a person or thing that manifests something. Manifester means a person or thing that manifests something. Manifest means shows or displays or exhibits. And manifested means show a quality or feeling by one's acts or appearance. Manifested means you have to show a quality or feeling by acting or showing, by acting or appearance, demonstrate or display. Okay, well, so now towards Spota theory. So that is that's show Spota is that is a now we have to know the meaning of Spota theory in 2 to 3 lines. Then the features, mean types. Features means types of Spota theory. Uh, Meaning means it is a Sanskrit word. Spota is a Sanskrit word which means bursting, opening or spurt. Bursting means that's uh, coming out speedily. Bursting means coming out speedily. So it is a Sanskrit word which means bursting, means coming out uncontrollably, coming out suddenly or promptly or uncontrollably. So it's a Sanskrit word which means bursting, opening a spurt. It is an important concept in the Indian grammatical tradition of Vyakarana. Also, it's the second meaning of spota is it's an important concept in the Indian grammatical tradition of Vyakarana. So what I told you just prior to that because I already present before to many things. That after that spota, then we will be in touch with some other things. Then Plato's criticism and poetry. So within that time, a stipulated period, so we can complete that cover up all this. What's required that I'm dealing with you. After that, if then I will take care of you. Okay. Till that was and wait. So it's an important concept in the Indian grammatical tradition of Vyakarana. This theory was propounded by Bhartahari. Who? That Spota theory. Dhoni theory was propounded by Anandavardhan, and that theory, Bharat, which theory? That Rasa theory was propounded by Bharat, and this theory is by uh, Bhartahari. BSARTRA Bhartahari. He was a Sanskrit writer. Whose Bhartahari was a Sanskrit writer and is well known for his two important Sanskrit texts. These Sanskrit text, Vyak, Vakyapadiya and linguistics philosophy. That Bhartahari was a Sanskrit writer and is well known for his two important Sanskrit texts. That was Vakyapadiya and linguistics philosophy. So now know some lines about that Spota theory. Bhartaharis, as he the propounder of that theory, so according to him, Bhartaharis' view is that meaning is not conveyed from the speaker to the listener. Bhartaharis speaks that meaning is not conveyed, meaning is not conveyed from the speaker to the listener. Rather, spoken words serves only stimulus. Rather, spoken words, because the speaker is not expanding the meaning, only speaking some words. So rather, the spoken words serve only stimulus to reveal or uncover the meaning, which was already presented in the minds of the listener or hearer. It pertains to the problems of articulation of speech. It pertains to the problems of articulation of speech and how the mind arranges linguistic units into meanings and ultimately discourses. So Spota theory, he theorized means Bhartahari. Bhartahari, as you know that the profounder of that theory, Spota theory. So he theorized the act of speech as being made of three stages. The act of speech as being made up, made up of three stages. Conceptualization by the speaker means the speaker at first have to just uh, get some idea about that conceptualization, then performance of speaking, then comprehension by the interpreter. So this is all about okay by the interpreter. That was all about. Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay. So you see, to arrive at his own theories, uh, Anand, Anand Vardhan was indebted to Bhartahari's Spota theory. Bhart, Bhartahari says in his treatise that Bhakyapadya that was communicates that what communicates the meaning of a word or sentence is technical called spota. It is of three kinds. Varna spota, that is spota varna, which which literally means the alphabet, which literally means the alphabet. So that varna spota is a reference to the meaning of letters. Then Padaspota, spota padas, that is meaning of words. Then Vakyaspota means the meaning of Vakya, that is sentences. The philosophy behind this theory is that since Varnas, Padas and Vakyas are all momentary, are all momentary, particularly when spoken, they are forever passing at the next letter. Word or sentence is uttered or produced. Okay, leave it. So, because many lines are there about that. So now come on to that is Alankar theory. Alankar theory. Alankar theory. It was given by Bahama. That Alankar theory is given by Bahama in his book Kavya Alankar. Kavya Alankar. Kavya Alamkar. Alamkar. Kavya Alamkar. Alankar literally means ornament. I mean that's Alankar. Alankar means ornaments. So Alamkar means Alankar. Literally means ornament. Literally means ornament. Alamkar in Indian languages are used essentially to enhance the beauty of poetry and music. Alankar literally means Alankar in Indian languages are used essentially to enhance the beauty of poetry and music. Alankar is not mere decorative. Alankar is not mere decorative poetry or embellishment in literature. The Alankaras are various figures of speech. It's not only we find in poetry, uh, also it shows various figures of speech, or it gives us a clear cut idea about various figures of speech. Then Alankar divided into two categories. Alamkar is divided into two categories. One is Shabda Alamkar. So what is that Shabda Alamkar? It came from two words Shabda. Shabda means word. Shab means word. Shabdh. Shabd Alamkar. It came from two words Shabd. Shabd meaning is word plus Alankar. Alankar means ornament. So certain specific words that create an ornamental effect in a verse or poem, that is called Shabda Alankar. Shabd means word, and Alankar means ornament. So certain specific words that create an ornamental effect in a verse or poem is called Shabda Alankar. Then Artha Alankar. Artha Alankar. It came from two words. Artha. Artha means meaning. Arth means meaning. And Alankar means, as you know, ornaments. So the meaning of words that creates the required enhancements equal Arth Alankar. So again, Shabda Alankar types. Shabda Alankar uh, and its types. So it is divided into many types. One is Anupras. Anupras means alliteration. When a consonant word repeats serially more than once. Anupras means alliteration. Anupras means alliteration. Means when a consonant word repeats serially more than once. When a consonant word repeats serially more than once. Example, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. When a consonant repeats serially, because Peter, P, Piper picked. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Okay, that is called. Then yamak. Yamak means homonym. Homonym, you know, when a word repeats more than once, but each time its meaning is different. Example. That is all is well, all in well. You see, homonyms means that is when a word repeats more than once, but each time its meaning is different. Suppose you see uh, bell and bell, male and male, okay, shell and shell. Okay, though the sound of these two words are quite alike, but they are different in their meanings and spellings. Suppose bell and bell. One is bell, you know that B-E-L-L bell. Another is B-A-L-E bell, and another is B-A-I-L bell. Okay, so cell and cell, S-E-L-L cell and S-A-I-L cell. The sound is quite alike, but differences are there in their meanings and spellings. So that is called homonym. So when a word repeats more than once, but each time its meaning is different. Example, all is well. That is W-L-L well and all in well. W-E-L-L well. Okay. Then slash. Slash means spawn. When a word is used once, but it gives more than one meaning. When a word is used once, but it gives more than one meaning. Example, an elephant's opinion carries a lot of weight. Here, an elephant's opinion means uh, an elephant's opinion means a wise man's opinion. Here, the meaning of this word elephant's opinion means a wise man. A wise man's opinion carries a lot of weight, means carries importance. Understand? So slash means pun, when a word is used once, but it gives more than one meaning. Once we find that word in a sentence, but it carries another meaning. So an elephant's opinion carries a lot of weight. An elephant's means wise man's opinion carries a lot of weight, means lot of weight means carries importance. Okay. Then Artha Alankar. Now you knew types of Sabda Alankar, that is three types. And then Artha Alankar. Then Artha Alankar. Types. Upma. Upma means simile, simile. You know also what simile. When a person or thing is compared in words, when a person or thing is compared in words with a similar, most famous, well-known person or thing. Example, her smile is as bright as the sun. Her smile is as bright as the sun. When a person or thing is compared in words with a similar, her smile is as bright as the sun. As is there and a comparison also there between her smile and uh, as bright as the sun. The rupak, metaphor. Arthalankar, its types, first means simile, comparison between the two unlike things using as or like. Then rupak. Rupak means metaphor. Comparison is made between two different objects. Metaphor also. Comparison between is made between two. Similarly, also the same comparison. between two different objects using as or like. But here comparison is made between two different objects without using any comparison, without any comparison word. Example, you have a flower face. Have we here used any as or like? No. As or like, these two words refer to comparison words. So we will not use these comparison words. But in simile, we have to use the comparison, that is as or like. Two different objects, but we have to just add them or join them using as or like. But here without any comparison words, that is as or like. You have a flower face. Then virodha. Virodha means oxymoron. If the combination of two words of opposite meanings in one expression, life is a bittersweet. Virodha means oxymoron. Means it is the combination of two words of opposite meanings in one expression. Bitter and against sweet. How it's possible? Okay. So that two words of opposite meanings, bitter and its antonym is sweet. Okay. So opposite meaning in one expression means in one sentence we are getting a finding it. So that is all about the theories that Spota and Dhoni theory and that Rasa theory, all these. So now Plato's Plato's attack on poetry or Plato's that's uh, criticism on poetry. It's a long question. Plato's criticism on poetry. Okay. So Plato's arguments against poetry or Plato's views on poetry, or write a short note on Plato or the long question. It's a very important long question of this present discussion. Uh, Plato can be easily interpreted. Plato can be easily interpreted as someone who is the enemy of the art because he considered all the forms of art like painting, poetry, drama, etc., as inferior and imitation of imperfect world. Plato was the first great Greek philosopher. Plato was the first great Greek philosopher who systematically expressed his views on art and poetry. Who systematically, orderly expressed his views, means placed his views on art and poetry. He was highly influenced by the master Socrates, who had taught men to think and to search for a truth in a strictly detached manner. In a strictly detached manner means it is a way of being that doesn't show any emotional interest or involvement. It doesn't show any emotional uh, interest or involvement. So that he was highly impressed by uh, his master Socrates, who had taught men to think and to search for truth in a strictly detached manner. He was endowed with literary gifts. Who? Plato. Plato was endowed with literary gifts. He was a fine prose writer. Now, just we are getting some lines about Plato. He was that he was a fine prose writer, and being the student of Socrates, he looked at the society, art, and literature from the lofty moral point, from the lofty uh, moral point of view, lofty moral point of view. In his famous book, lofty moral point of view means high moral intellectual value, high moral or intellectual value. In his famous book Republic, in his famous book Republic, he is concerned to construct firstly an ideal state, and secondly the ideal man with the individual counterpart of the state. So first, in his famous book Republic, he is concerned to construct firstly an ideal state. Firstly, he gave emphasis on how to make or construct an ideal state. Then also gave emphasis the ideal man with the individual counterpart. Counterpart means a person or thing that corresponds to or has the same function of another person or thing. So it's concerned to construct firstly the ideal state, and secondly the man who is the individual counterpart of the state. So that Plato looked at art or poetry from the social point of view. A piece of art and poetry, howsoever beautiful it may be, according to Plato, because Plato looked at art or poetry from social point of view, from society. Because state, his main aim was to create a good state, then to create a good man. So uh, he looked at art or poetry from the social point of view. A piece of art and poetry, howsoever beautiful it may be, cannot be welcomed unless it contributes something in making an ideal state and a similar citizen. It is according to Plato. Art or poetry, according to Plato, art or poetry, according to Plato, contribute neither to the making of an ideal state nor to that of an ideal citizen. So he condemns, means blames, poetry on the following grounds. So Plato condemns, means argues. Now we are dealing with Plato's argument against poetry. So he condemns or blames. Uh, he condemns or blames that poetry on the following grounds. A poet writes poetry because he is inspired. A poet writes according to Plato. How does he blame poetry? That a poet writes poetry because he is inspired, because someone inspires him, perhaps. Someone gives me a lot of ideas and things, or instills in him many things. That's why, being inspired by others, he goes on writing. It is according to Plato. He doesn't use language as normal human beings do. A poet doesn't use language as normal beings do. And he who is good at one is not good at any kind of verse. Sure, okay. In his latter of the Republic, Plato drew a distinction between the poet and the philosopher. In his latter work, the Republic, Plato drew a distinction between the poet and the philosopher. The poet is inferior to the philosopher. According to Plato, the poet is the inferior to the philosopher because he appeals to the emotions of the people and not to their intellect, and thus he is dangerous for society. Who? Plato speaks. A poet is dangerous for society. Since poetry is mainly guided by the impulse of the moment and not by cool deliberation like philosophy, it cannot make the individual a better citizen and the state a better organization. Means it is according to Plato. Again, Plato also adds ADDS, adds some more lines. Poetry, according to Plato, feeds and waters the passions. Feeds and waters the passions, creates divisions and unsteadiness in the heart or frivolous laughter, and produces the opposite of civic virtue, means moral virtue. Poets will have no place in the ideal republic. Being a product of inspiration, it affects the emotions rather than reason, the heart rather than the intellect. So it is all about Plato, many lines are there. Then Plato's classification of poetry. Plato, first of all, classified poetry into three categories. Plato, first of all, classified poetry into three categories. It's purely lyrical. Lyrical means song like. Lyrical means song like. So it's purely lyrical. Two, the purely mimetic and imitative. Mimetic means relating to or habitually uh, practicing mimesis means imitative, purely mimetic and imitative, such as drama, in which life is imitated in action or speech. And three, the mixed type, such as the epic, in which the poet partly indulges in lyrical flights and partly introduces action and speech. Aristotle also classified drama into tragedy and comedy. Aristotle also classified drama into tragedy and comedy. He accepts pity and fear as the emotion proper to tragedy. Though he doesn't use the word catharsis. Catharsis means the process of releasing, the process of releasing. Though he doesn't use the word catharsis, he hints at the process when he speaks of external agitation, subsiding the agitation within, as when a crying child is rocked by the nurse and is thus pacified. So that in different context, in different context, mimesis means imitation may refer to the identification. People identify themselves by means of their mimetic ability. When they see themselves in the other and perceive a state of mutual equality. In this sense, mimesis means imitation is distinct from mimicry, which implies only a physical and mental, no mental relation. That is, a person regards the other as equal and assumes the other to be doing the same in reverse. So in these ways, okay. So and many other things that we are going to were not able to complete because our time is about to wind up. So mm, next class, just tomorrow's class is about that block two, and already it is known to all of you that block two is classical criticism. So the left out discussions are to be dealt seriously, if not in this class, if time permits. So after the end of the session, again I am dealing with all these left out points in today's session. And if time also permits me, so I will help you at some other standpoints, providing you some notes at the end of the discussions. So tomorrow to start, that is classical criticism, that is block two. Classical criticism, that is block two. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tomorrow, so okay, you don't be sorry and sorry. So at the hour of need, I will help you. I will help you means I will provide you some notes. Okay, because I know that what you are feeling today. Because it is online class, simply are listening, you are not able to ask anything. Also, many things have been left out today. Uh, it's impossible to complete everything within this short span. 2 hours duration. So I understand your problem and feelings, and it will be sorted out at the end of the discussion. Okay, I will help you at any cost. Don't be worried and sorry for that. Have patience and confidence, and time will give you your result. So tomorrow's class is about that is classical criticism. Thus, sometime 6 p.m. Okay. Again, we will meet again, taking the second block, that is block two, classical criticism. So till that, goodbye. Thank you all.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.